Hey, what's happening, beautiful black people? How are you? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I am here in Atlanta, and we are finishing up the last day of the All Black National Convention, which just ended, and it was a roaring success. In case you wonder what I'm doing, I'm reaching over to grab um, something out of my bag, and I hope I can grab it without looking too crazy. But anyway, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about leadership, and I was thinking about how there are so many of us, so many people in our community who are led by pimps. Whether you've got pimps on the street, pimps in the pulpit, so-called black leaders who act like nothing but pimps. Incredibly arrogant assholes who kind of tell you that they're better than you and yell down at you and talk to you like you ain't nothing, and then you still love them that much more anyway. And y'all gotta forgive me. I gotta drink some water because I want to make sure I don't get dehydrated because the whole week I've been running for this convention, and it was awesome. It was hugely successful. Thousands of people came in. A lot of people came from out of town. A lot of people actually came from out of the country, as far as Sierra Leone, Nigeria, places like that. I was really humbled by that. But anyway, I was thinking about all the pimps that we have leading our community. The pimps who lead us individually or on a small scale or on a large scale. And, I'm going to tell you what, my philosophy has always been that if you get people that love you and support you and have your back, you should be indebted to these people. These are the people that you work for. These are the people that sustain you. And so it's very important for you to be extremely kind to these people. Extremely gracious and grateful and appreciative and everything else. And sometimes I'll see people that do stuff that doesn't make any sense. I'll see people sometimes that have, all the support in the world, all the love in the world, people giving you their money, everything else, and people they still talk to the people like they ain't nothing. And I always wonder how people can get away with that. It's almost like an abusive relationship. I was thinking about how you got these relationships where people are being abused mentally, and mentally, maybe even physically, and the person still stays in these relationships despite the fact that they're incredibly unhealthy. And I thought about it, and I realized that sometimes you stay in an abusive relationship because your self-esteem is really low. Because you don't feel like you can do any better, or because you feel powerless on your own. You feel like you're nothing by yourself. So you stick with that person because their arrogance is interpreted by you. In case you want to see the shirt, it says mixed with melanin and God. That's what I just want you to know. Madam President gave me that. Because their arrogance, you stay with them because their arrogance leads you to think that somehow this makes them better than you, that this is confidence, and that it must mean that they have some kind of greatness that you don't have, and that you want to attach yourself to in order to feel better about yourself. You want closeness to that power because you feel like it gives you power that you don't actually have yourself. And I thought about that, and it's not to say that everybody falls for this stuff. I think there's some people who look at an arrogant, leader, whether it's a church or in the conscious community or anything. They look at the arrogance. They say, "Man, this is stupid. This don't make no damn sense. Who the hell you think you are, right?" But then there are people who really like that. Like they interpret that to be swag. And I'm sorry, but if somebody's an arrogant, selfish, narcissistic prick, that ain't swag. That's a mental illness. That person is not somebody who is is somehow to be admired. That's somebody to be rejected. That's somebody you got to look at and say, "What's wrong with you, man? Don't you know that this is about all of us?" I think that the biggest thing that we have to understand as black people as we move forward in everything that we're trying to do right now, because we're in the middle of a huge movement. We're in the middle of a movement where we are doing things that we haven't done either in a very long time or never at all. But one thing we got to understand is that the movement ain't about a few cocky-ass leaders who think that they just the man. They supposed to have all the power, all the money, all the women, all the whatever. No, it's about all of us. It's about all of us coming together and being strong together. my power connected to your power does give us greater power, but it's not because I'm powerful and you're powerless. And also, I should not drain and gain my power by sucking power out of you. That's, in fact, you got all these blood-sucking pastors out here that do that. They suck your economic power up because you give them money, because you think that somehow you by watching them build their empire, you feel like that's your empire too. We built this church together. No, we didn't build this church together. He built the church for that he owns, and you're coming to the church giving him money so that he can make this church be even bigger. That's what's really going on. There should never be situations where the pastor is worth millions of dollars and the people in that church have their average income drop because they're a part of the church. Um, and with these ideas just kind of popped into my head today because I was just thinking about that just now. I was thinking about, people getting pimped, in different ways. Maybe they hear somebody, they sound smart, or that person sounds confident, or that person seems like they just know all the answers, or that person just seems like somebody you want to follow. Maybe they're tall, maybe they have a commanding voice when they speak, maybe they just seem like they can go through fire, and you somehow just get excited about that because maybe somehow by sort of displaying their own power to you, you've let them kind of zap you of any ability to have free will in terms of your destiny. So, what I would just generally say to you is that you are powerful. We are all powerful. We are all capable. And I don't really think that you at any point should allow some of these false gods, some of this fake charismatic leadership, some of this ignorant shit that we see. We see ignorant shit both in the church, we see it in the conscious community, which is just like a church, just without Christianity sometimes. I mean, we see it in corporate America. We see it in politics. You saw, for example, this week when we did the All Black National Convention, you had all the bought and paid for Negroes from the Congressional Black Caucus running something up in D.C. And I just, I remember when I went to that thing, I didn't feel like those people care about me. I think these people are up there just, I guess they feel like they're successful because they're congressmen. But if you're a congressman and your whole community's falling down around you, then you ain't shit. You shouldn't feel good about that. You ain't got nothing to be proud of. What's wrong with you? Why is it that we got all these damn cities and run by black people and the whole damn city's falling apart? Don't make no damn sense. Makes no sense at all. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely sick. And my argument is that as black people, we have to start saying something about that. We have to start recognizing authenticity and respecting authenticity wherever it is. And when you see something that seems stupid and fake, and somebody says, "Oh, we're just playing the game. This is how we do it." No, no, no. You call that stuff out. You ain't got to be nasty about it. You just got to say, no, no, no. This is what we want. This is where we are as a people. This is where we're going. This other stuff, no, we're not. We thank you for your service during the civil rights movement. We appreciate the fact that you marched with Dr. King, but since that march, you ain't done nothing except put yourself on a pedestal and sell your people up the river to corporations or whatever. And I'm thinking about specific congressmen. You can go research and figure out who I'm talking about, and just call it for what it is. Stop respecting people who don't deserve respect. Period. If I say something that's stupid, tell me. Just let me know. Like, hey, Doc, you sounding kind of crazy right now. I don't get that. Hear me out now. I mean, don't tell me. Don't. If you tell me that I'm wrong, don't just sort of reject and just not listen. Listen to me. Hear me out. And if you don't agree, then tell me you don't agree, and then we can sort of figure all that out together. I'll tell you what, I didn't really get to do much of a recap of the convention yet because we just got done and my feet still hurt. I just soaked in the bathtub for about 30 minutes because my feet were killing me. And, I see Rifa says, how do we get our voices heard? I'm going to try my best to help out with that in terms of helping you have your voice heard. I know at the All Black National Convention, we let the people in the audience come up and make comments and ask questions. And it's always hard. I ain't gonna lie, it's really difficult to do sometimes because some people are kind of again in their mindset of me. So they're using it as their platform, and so they'll get up and they'll talk about themselves for 10 minutes and won't even ask a question. So you have to kind of push them, to get to the point, ask a question, make your comment, whatever it is you got to do. That's the challenge, right? So that's something we're going to work on for next year. But I'll tell you what, we made some progress. We did this thing without corporate sponsorship. We we were able to, and that's huge. I mean, people say that, they said, well, this convention reminded me of Tavis Smiley's State of Black America, and I believe what Tavis did was good for the world. I really do. But the funny thing was that, I felt weird when I would see all these corporations sponsoring something that's supposed to strengthen the black community. I don't believe that black people are going to have a revolution sponsored by McDonald's. I don't believe that Wells Fargo is going to pay for us to find our way to liberation. I don't believe that that Target and Kmart and Walmart are going to be the ones responsible for helping us become empowered black people. I believe that black people are going to do this, and I believe that as we pay our own way to freedom, we pay for our own ride. We won't have to ask. We won't have to answer to nobody. We won't owe nobody nothing. People won't be able to say, hey, yeah, we're responsible for black people getting a chance to get ahead in America. No, you don't. You're not responsible for shit. We don't owe you shit. You ain't did shit for us. You ain't a fucking friend. And the reason you're not our friend is because you ain't even said nothing about reparations in this country for everything that our people have gone through for the last 300 years. You haven't said nothing about that. So stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Don't sit down with me and tell me everything you did to help the black community get nowhere, because you ain't done nothing. If you ain't talking about reparations on a serious level, the trillions of dollars that black people are owed, the Marshall Plan that needs to be put in place to reestablish our communities, if you ain't talking about that, then you ain't talking about nothing. You're talking about putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. That's all you're talking about, and we ain't trying to deal with all that. So my feeling is that as long as white people are not talking real talk about real issues like reparations, then we need to be having these meetings by ourselves, with ourselves. And I'm going to tell you, at this convention, it was nothing but black people there. I didn't see a white man the whole weekend. If I'd seen one, I wouldn't have told him he couldn't come in. He could come in. Everybody can come in. But in that room, the energy level was so high. It was so amazing. And I was so excited and so thrilled to see all these black people come together. And the biggest thing that surprised me about this convention was the fact that there were hundreds of people that came in from out of the state. There were people who came from Seattle, from LA, from Arizona, from New York. One lady told me she drove 22 hours from New York. And what that said to me is that people are desperate for solutions. People are dying for something that they believe, that they can believe in, something that seems real to them, something that feels real, something that looks real, something that passes the smell test. And I said, okay, we passed the smell test. They believe in us. Let's not let these people down. So there were three things that came out of the convention that we're implementing right now. Number one is the Black Economic Cooperative. The Black Economic Cooperative is pretty much just like, it's like an economic church, except unlike a church, everybody in the entire congregation benefits, not just the pastor. So basically, there is a monthly fee to join the co-op. We're going to have a national co-op, and then we're going to have a local co-op. So I'm literally going to go city to city myself for 2 to 3 days in each city and establish the co-op in that city, establish the leadership, the board, get it going, everything. And basically, to be a part of the co-op, you have to pay a monthly fee. If you're a business, you have to pay a higher fee. With this fee goes into establishing an endowment, a pile of money for the co-op, to allow the co-op to make large-scale investment projects in the community. So you want to buy the building down the street, you can buy the building down the street. If you want to invest in local businesses, you can invest in local businesses. If you want to make loans like a bank, you can make loans. You can do all these things because you've got this pile of money together, which allows you to make major moves, to be a major player in your community. For example, on that same street that we did the convention in Atlanta, it's on Ralph Abernathy Street, which is right around the corner from Morehouse and Spelman College. Though that community, unfortunately, has been through hell. That community is dilapidated. The community is not a fraction of what it's supposed to be. But I'll tell you what, there's a whole city block for sale for about $4.2 million. Jen, you can come on in. There's a whole city block for sale. That's my production coordinator. You probably can't see it, but you see a shadow. There's a whole city block for sale for $4.2 million. So what I'm going to do with the co-op in Atlanta is let them know, look, you can go ahead and pull together, let's say $500,000. over the course of a few months. And maybe that $500,000 can be leveraged into a loan that will allow you to make that purchase. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to buy that block. It's $4.2 million is a lot of money, but I know that they can pull it off. I really believe that. So that's one thing. The second thing we established at the convention is Black Men United. Black Men United. Black Men United is not just an advocacy group for black men to strengthen the black man in America. It's also a place where we will continuously push initiatives that relate to black men being educated, black men being economically empowered, black men loving and respecting black women, black men being strong, black men being the soldiers for the community, black men being the guardians of black humanity, black men being on top instead of the bottom, black men being the leaders instead of being in the back, black men being free instead of enslaved, black men being enlightened instead of lost, black men being everything that we're meant to be because we are God. Black men are a piece of God. We are the strongest things out here, and that's why everybody works to kill us. Well, Black Men United will bring everybody together by the end of the year. By the end of the year, you can hold me accountable to this because this is my goal. I want to have 10,000 men, 10,000 good, strong black men in this organization by this time next year, by the time of the next convention, because I will be held accountable for this. I will be asked about this, and I'm okay with being asked about this, and I'm going to go ahead and start making this happen. The wheels are already moving. In fact, before long, I want you to sign up. In fact, I want you to sign up at drboycewatkins.net. If you sign up at drboycewatkins.net, you not only get a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, but you also get a chance to get on our list. When you're on our email list, that means that as soon as Black Men United is ready for signups, I'm going to blast it out, and I need a whole lot of people to sign up because by this time next year, I need at least 10,000 people on that list so that we can begin the process of doing what we got to do. We literally will have a training ground for black men. Just like military, black men will be trained to be men in this organization. In fact, one of the things I thought about today that I talked to the president of the organization about, Andre Hatchett. Andre Hatchett is going to be our first president. And one of the things I talked to Andre about was the fact that I said, you know what we need to do? It really came to me because I was in the underground in Atlanta and I saw these black women who were about to buy some food, and the food cost a certain amount, and I thought I saw one of them struggling to find the money. And I had to go. I couldn't do this. It bothered me. I couldn't do it. I wanted to do it, but I thought about the fact that I just wanted to reach in my wallet and pull out $20 and say, "Here you go. Here, Queen. Let me buy your food for you today." And I was like, "Why would I want to do that? I don't even know these people. I'm not trying to holler and nothing like that." But I just felt compelled to help. I saw this women with the baby, and I just said, you know what? That would just be a nice thing to do to make somebody's day. So we're going to establish a day where we're going to call this. I don't know the exact title yet. That's how new the idea is. But I talked to Andre about it. Something like "Do a Nice Thing for a Black Woman Day." Basically, where I'm going to tell brothers all around the country, all 10,000 members, because we're going to have thousands of brothers join this. I already know. I see everywhere, every city I go to. The majority of the people that come up to me and say hi to me in the airports and in restaurants, etc., are black men. So I already know we're going to have thousands of brothers very quickly. And we're going to tell all the brothers, like, on this particular day, we want you to find a black woman you don't know and a black woman you ain't trying to holler at. And we want you to go up and do something nice for her that you normally would not do, something significant. So that might mean pay for her food. It might mean help her put her boxes in her car. If something, I don't know. We're going to think of some examples that you can do so that brothers will know that they have a role in strengthening black women, that black women will know that they're loved by black men. I think black women need to be reminded repeatedly every day how much we love them and how much we appreciate their support and how much we appreciate the love they've given us. We appreciate our mothers. We do it for your mama. You do it for your sister. You do it for your auntie. You do it for your grandmama. You do it for your wife. You do it for all the women that stood by you, instead of allowing certain negative men to define all of black women based on what they saw a couple of ratchet women do to them 5-10 years ago. You got a lot of black men out here, unfortunately, that are real damaged by their experiences with black women. Maybe they hung out in the strip club for a while and they met women that robbed them of their money, or women who didn't know who they were, or women that maybe they had a baby with somebody and it turned out bad, and these guys carry this anger and hatred through life. In fact, I look at guys like Tommy Sotomayor. I don't know if y'all know about Tommy Sotomayor, but the man's sick. The man clearly, I'm like, tell me about your mama, man. Like, something must have happened with this guy's mother, because I've never seen a man who works that hard to hate black women so much. The third thing we're going to do, so you know about Black Men United, you know about the Black Economic Cooperative, those two organizations, the Black Men United, I definitely want to have 1,000 members, or 10,000 members by this time next year. That's what I'm going to do. for the other organization, for the Black Economic Cooperative, I need to gauge in terms of how serious people are about this. I know that people are telling me they want to do this, but the proof is in the potato salad, as I say. I personally believe that we can actually establish, say, a national co-op and have at least, say, 1,000 members in that co-op. By the end of the year, 1,000 people paying, say, $99 a month is almost $100,000 a month going into the cooperative pot. The money wouldn't just be for nothing. The money would actually come in exchange for co-op meetings. Co-op meetings, what they do, and the thing is, it wouldn't just be national. It has to be local as well. The reason it has to be local is because sometimes you need to look people in the eye and be right there in the room with people, give them a hug, shake their hand, talk to them, make a connect, meet with them for lunch, stuff like that. So that's what helped me realize, like, I need to set up things that are in each city as opposed to just making it a national thing. So we will have the national co-op, but then in every city we're going to have that local co-op. So let's say in every city you have 100. My goal for each co-op in each city will be to push the leadership, the board, to get 100 members. 100 members paying $100 a month will be $10,000 a month going into the co-op pot. Businesses should pay double at least. Businesses pay $200 because businesses benefit more. You get to go in there, you sell your products, everybody knows about your business. The co-ops will establish a Black business directory. When you have meetings, which will be like every week, just like church, in these meetings you're going to learn. You're going to have experts that come in to talk about real estate, talk about opportunities in the community, to talk about how to invest, to talk about financial literacy, to talk about all the things going on in the Black community, to talk about your community and how you can make that move, make those large footprints, how you can block gentrification into your community. You can create jobs, as Laura says. Absolutely. The ability to create jobs for your people. Also, one of the first initiatives I'm going to tell the co-ops to do, I'm going to make recommendations on this, is one, wherever you're meeting, I want you to your first project to be to see if you can buy that building, see if you can buy the space that you're meeting, so you own that space. Number two, I want you to start a school. I want you to start to gain that ability to educate Black children in that community yourself with the resources you have in that space. So I don't really, that's still slightly a work in progress in the sense that I'll know how serious people are when it comes time to actually put in the money, and I want to structure it so that everyone's benefiting, so that you see the value of the investment of putting your money in there. So, for example, if you have a business and you set up as a vendor at the co-op meetings, and there's 300 people there, well, guess what? You got a bunch of customers coming through. You're making more money than you're investing, so you're happy to pay your co-op fee. If you are not a business owner and you just want to learn how to invest, well, guess what? You're in there. You're learning more than you ever learned in college, and you're learning from a Black perspective. And it's far, far cheaper than college. Instead of going $100,000 in debt like you would in college to learn the same information or learn less information, you're actually paying a far lower price and getting far more knowledge from being a part of the co-op. Let's not forget the fellowship of it, interacting, networking, bringing together resources. Where there is economic activity, there is economic prosperity. That is the key. The key is to generate not classes, to not generate feel-good moments, but to generate entire economies. That co-op, when you have over 100 people in that co-op and people are involved and you're building the capital base, and the co-op itself is building by, say, $20,000 to $50,000 a month. Because remember, you're getting the co-op fees every month of, say, $10,000, but you're holding an event every week. At large members, people who don't want to pay the monthly fee, that just want to come to individual events, will have to pay to be in those events. So each event is going to raise the co-op another, say, $10,000, $12,000, because the co-op will have businesses that will be set up as vendors at these events as well. So long story short, you have, this pile of capital, this building. Say over the course of the first year, the co-op itself builds $250,000, and all the businesses and individuals connected to the co-op are benefiting economically because they're connected to other Black people in the community who are doing similar things, who have resources that they can bring to the table to help them get things done. So that's the goal of the co-op, is to reclaim the community by bringing together resources and allowing Black people to work together. Give me 1 second. Can you wait for a minute? You don't have to go.
I ordered my Uber.
Oh, you gotta go?
1 minute.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys, I got to go in a second because I got to go meet. I got to talk to my production coordinator before she leaves. She betrayed me and ordered her Uber and didn't tell me that she was leaving so soon. But anyway, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll tell you about the third thing next time I come on live. That's the Black Political Party. That's the third thing we established at the first All Black National Convention. I'm talking to some political science experts on what exactly that's going to look like. I hope you'll participate and support when you hear about that as well. But anyway, I love you. And also, if you want to join the class that we're teaching in a few weeks, theblackwealthbootcamp.com is where you can sign up for the Black Wealth Bootcamp. Go to theblackwealthbootcamp.com. We got a class coming up real soon. So take care, guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.